Texas Senator Ted Cruz is very concerned about this. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, will Congress make a change to this visa system? I mean, this is going back 26 years, what the 9/11 Commission warned about.
Look, there's no doubt we need to. Here's the sad reality. Democrats will filibuster any effort to bring sanity to securing our border. I'll tell you, during the entire Biden presidency, the open borders we had, Alejandro Mayorkas was impeached for willfully defying federal law, and every single Senate Democrat voted to dismiss the claim. They didn't even want to hear one whit of evidence. Of all of the victories we've seen in the first 5 months of the Trump presidency, none is more important than the victories securing the border. We have seen, almost from the moment President Trump put his hand on the Bible, we've seen illegal crossings drop over 99%. And I'll tell you, in this big, beautiful bill, we're going to provide funding to build the wall, to hire more agents and ICE agents in detention facilities. But the Democrats continue just to embrace open borders. And apparently what they think America needs is more illegal immigrants, more gang members, more murderers, rapists, and more terrorists like this lunatic in Boulder, Colorado. Yes.
Yeah, it's obviously 24 years since 9/11, Senator, but more than 2 hours, I believe, after the Boulder attack, Andrew McCabe, that infamous font of reasoned thinking, slammed the FBI for saying it was an act of terror. Watch this.
It's hard to imagine that the FBI has more or better information at this point to kind of rush out with the conclusion within like 10 minutes after we all started hearing about this, that it's a targeted act of terror. It may very well be, but most of the time you try to be very careful about attaching that label to an attack until you have solid evidence that indicates a motive that would qualify as terrorism.
Now, Senator, the fact that this guy was at such a high level at the FBI and helped lead the efforts against Donald Trump with the scam Russia investigation, and this is what he offers now?
Look, he's a left-wing radical, and he's committed to lying. We also saw the Boulder Police Department say, well, we don't know that it's terrorism. This guy was a lunatic who was at a pro-Israel protest, elderly Jewish people, including a Holocaust survivor there, calling for the release of hostages taken on October 7th, and this guy screams Free Palestine and lights them on fire. And you look at CNN, by the way, the New York Times didn't mention in their coverage this guy was an illegal immigrant. It's reminiscent. You remember the earlier terror attack in New Orleans, where this lunatic drove a truck into a crowd with an ISIS flag behind it. And what did the career FBI person there say? Well, we don't know that this is terrorism. You know what? When you fly an ISIS flag and murder people, we do know it's terrorism. It is obvious, and it's a political agenda that they don't want to acknowledge. These are radical Islamic terrorists. By the way, we've seen in the last 2 months, we've seen elderly Jewish people lit on fire by radical leftist Islamists. We've seen a beautiful young Jewish couple murdered here in Washington, D.C., simply because they're Jews. And the guy was a leftist from Chicago. He wasn't Palestinian. He was just a leftist ideologue who screamed free Palestine. And then we also saw the Jewish governor of Pennsylvania, the governor's mansion firebombed with a radical that wanted to murder him and his entire family. This is a poisonous ideology, and it's one that flourished under Joe Biden and the Democrats.
You went to Harvard, right?
Sadly.
I mean, what's happened? I mean, Harvard's always been pretty liberal, but there have been some reasonable people there as well. This is just, I know you're doing the big hearing tomorrow on radical judges, but just a brief comment on your alma mater.
Look, Harvard has lost its way badly. They brazenly discriminate based on race, and they do so quite proudly. And they've inculcated an environment of vicious anti-Semitism, of harassment of Jewish students. They look the other way. They embrace that ideology. Look, we saw at commencement speeches at both Harvard and MIT, radical leftists just embracing this is the poison. You know, the last book I wrote was called Unwoke, How to Defeat Cultural Marxism in America. And it details this poison that your and my alma maters have been utterly corrupted by. They've taken over higher education, and we got to take it back. And I commend President Trump for standing up to Columbia and Harvard and these other bastions of anti-America hate. Senator,
you're hearing tomorrow on radical judges.
Yeah.
Do you have any real hope that the Supreme Court is going to do the right thing on this injunction question?
Look, it is my prayer. You were at the oral argument recently. It is the only avenue that has a chance of success. So if you look at how could we fix...
Well, you guys could pass a law circumscribing the court's jurisdiction and eliminating a lot of these district courts, correct?
We could absolutely do that, except for one problem. In the Senate, we have the filibuster rule, and every Senate Democrat supports this lawless judicial tyranny. So I have introduced and sponsored multiple bills to do it, but the Democrats want judges to set aside the will of the voters. Impeachment also, and I've encouraged the House, I think they ought to pick the most egregious one of these district judges and impeach him. That only takes a majority, but to be clear, that judge will not be convicted because every Senate Democrat will vote in favor of that lawlessness. It means the one avenue that has a chance of success is for the Supreme Court to rein it in. I hope that they do. I don't know if they will. You and I both know the justices well. This is a level of abuse. In 5 months, individual district judges have issued more nationwide injunctions against Donald Trump than in the entire 20th century, and also more than against George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden combined.
Senator, always great to have you in studio. Thank you very much.
Great to be with you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.